Aaron Tuttle here for Ferguson Roof Systems. For 43 years, Ferguson Roof Systems has been protecting Oklahoma's homes and businesses with quality roofing services. Their goal was to be the most honest and dependable roofing company in the state, all while providing free services such as lifetime labor warranty and annual inspections. Well, mission accomplished with thousands of client testimonials, an A+ Better Business Bureau rating, and a 5-star rating on Google. Look, the weather gives you enough to worry about, so why worry about who to trust with your roof? Call Ferguson Roof Systems today or find out more at fergusonroofsystems.com.
Hey everyone, Meteorologist Aaron Tuttle here with you. Thanks for joining me on this Sunday. It's about 9:30 or so. If you haven't had a chance to read my blog, got a lot of action here for this week. Let me see something here. Why aren't you going? I don't know. Pressed too many buttons earlier and I made YouTube angry. So I don't know if YouTube's going to work tonight. It is what it is. All right. So Sarah's checking in. Christopher's here from Woodward. Michelle's in the house. She's got Christmas trees going. That's what I'm talking about this season. See that Rockefeller tree? The Charlie Brown Christmas tree? Boy, wasn't that sad? If that's not a representative of 2020, I don't know what is. So it's just terrible. Everything's just terrible. Okay, so let me see. I was going to try one more thing here real quick, but I just don't think it's going to work. All right, sorry, YouTubers. You're going to have to watch it on Facebook or Twitter, Periscope. All right, so let me get on here with the comments here. I'm going to pull up my guys up there on Patreon so I can get you on there. So my volume turned down. Yeah. And then do this. Mute. And pause. Okay, so Mimi's checking in from Bean. SK's in the house. Karen's here. So I'll tell you what, let's get on with it, shall we? You know, I know what you're here for. I put that 4-letter word in that blog title. Did you catch that? Do you know what that means? It's like I saw that. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Hey, you know what? We've already had an ice storm. Why not have a little bit of snow, right? Par for course. All right, tell you what, let's get on with the first thing, though, and that could be tornadoes, believe it or not. And you're like, what did you just say? How do we just go from snow to tornadoes? Well, I'm going to show you. Here's a look at the Texas Tech WRF model. So this takes us into tomorrow. Not tomorrow. Tomorrow's Monday. Tuesday afternoon, evening. See this broken line of showers and storms developing, even a couple here in central Oklahoma. So the model believes that we're going to see some rotating type supercell storms in this environment. Now it's kind of favoring the northern half of Oklahoma. That can change. It's still early in the day, but that moves on into the Tulsa area as we head into the evening hours. So keep that in mind. We're probably going to have a little bit of a rough late afternoon and early evening on Tuesday for severe weather. All right, so that's the latest with that model. The newer NAM model just came in, and it was actually not nearly as excited as the Texas Tech model, but I didn't believe the NAM. And the new NAM has come in now, and it is excited, just like the Tech model. So it's starting to bubble up those storms out here to the west and southwest of us. So what's all doing that? Well, believe it or not, this is a look at the dew point map. This little line right here represents the dry line that's coming in. And then you have the cold front like this, and you got the surface low right here. We call that a triple point. You got the warm front that sends up north here into Kansas. So a lot of times you'll get thunderstorm initiation in this little sweet spot for the triple point, and a lot of times you get on the dry line bulge, which would be here in central Oklahoma. So those are two favorite areas for late Tuesday, and we're just going to have to kind of see how the shear plays out. The models do, though, predict those storms that develop along that area of low pressure, stretching all the way down here into the Oklahoma City metro area. And if you look at these colors on the map here, this is the significant tornado parameter. Now, is this a guarantee they'll see tornadoes? No. But what it does tell you is that the ingredients to get tornadoes are starting to come together right along the I-35 corridor, again, plus or minus. So some of this could impact west central Oklahoma, so keep that in mind. And remember, we're still early. We're 48 hours out from the event. So the models will continue to get better from this point forward. So again, thanks for joining me, all you guys watching. Just keep in mind on the comment section below, there's a little star button. You can hit that star button and shoot me some if you'd like. Here's a look at and I'll give you a little shout out. The rainfall here for this event is going to be mostly anchored across the eastern half of the state as those storms get going in the evening hours. So western, southwestern Oklahoma, don't expect a whole lot out of this system. A lot of this will be from the morning, so there'll be some morning showers on Tuesday. Again, Monday's looking fine. It's going to be cold in the morning. But so that's the first focus. Then you got Thanksgiving. How does Thanksgiving look? How's the 60s sound for the afternoon? It's not bad, really. It'll be chilly in the morning, low 40s, but 60s by the afternoon. So if you have some stuff to do outdoors, send the kids outside and play, whatever it may be. Open up the windows, let some fresh air in the home. That way you can keep that COVID out. Just let it blow right through the window, right? It's all about air ventilation with that situation. All right, so that's looking good for Thursday. For Thanksgiving, we're going to have a little bit of a south wind, about 10 to 15, mostly sunny skies. Should be a really nice day. Very low humidities out there, so feel great. Okay, so now we've gotten those two systems out of the way. This is what's coming for Sunday. See this big area? This basically looks like just a big circle over and over and over. That's the center of an upper level low pressure system coming in at 500 millibars, which is the jet stream level. This storm system has a very favored track to produce snow for Oklahoma, and specifically central Oklahoma. A lot of times on these deals, you'll get the heavy snow underneath the low and kind of in the backside quadrant from the track of it. So models had kind of favored this part of Oklahoma northwest, and as the low deepens and tracks eastward, kind of in this area for the secondary batch of snow. We'll see what that looks like here in a minute. But this is for Sunday morning. Mitch in the house with 50 stars. Thank you, sir. He's the first person that played the stars game. I appreciate that. So what happens is, this is on Sunday morning. It's going to mix with a little bit of rain and snow. So the purple area shows here. You can see that extends from south central Oklahoma all the way up to northeast Oklahoma and southeast Missouri. Now, this is where we question how much snow we're going to see. And again, you can't tell this far out, but just for fun, I'm going to put this map up here. This is just for giggles, but just to give you an example of what potentially could occur with that kind of a system. And about 1.5 inches of snow here in central Oklahoma. So again, it's not going to be huge because a lot of it's going to melt. We'll have temperatures in the mid-30s. And again, it has to be cold enough just above the surface to drag down that cold air from aloft to allow that snow to fall. And that's usually how that works with these type of dynamic systems. It's dynamically driven snow. So fingers crossed that happens, because I'd like to see it, honestly. And it won't be a big mess. It'll melt rather quickly, and the road, grows and temps for the ground are all still pretty warm. But out in northwest Oklahoma, it's got a little bit better accumulation potential because it'll be colder, a little longer. And the dynamics will work out there as well. Now, besides the fact that might be seeing a little bit of snow out of this, again, this is way out there. Remember, it's next Sunday, or this coming Sunday, I should say. But we're going to get some decent rain out of it, though. Now, this is a combination of the rainfall for Tuesday, but then we're going to throw in Saturday and Sunday. It's going to be a wet weekend, and it looks like 1 to 2 inches here across a good chunk of Oklahoma. So that's great news. We needed the rain. We've been fairly dry lately, so it looks like that's how it's going to play out. Now, if you like to look at those 7-day forecasts or whatever, there's like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 or 10-day forecast here for you. You can see how temps kind of go up and down the next few days, 50s and 60s for daytime highs, overnight lows in the 40s. After tonight, we'll be in the 30s tonight, so a little chilly out there. Chris is in the house with 50 stars. Thank you, Christy. Appreciate it. So Christy and Mitch stepping up tonight. Then we've got 44 on Saturday. So very cold, chilly, wet, and rainy is what I'm going for. Saturday coming up, and then Sunday in that morning hours we're in the mid-30s. Again, that's just cold enough to get some of that snow. So we'll see what happens. But then you can see a quick rebound once that system moves away. Models might be a little exaggerated here. Usually if you get snow on the ground, you don't quite warm up as much, so maybe lower 40s, but regardless, it should warm up a bit. And then chilly for Monday and Tuesday as we start off the 1st of December. And you can see some rainfall totals down here. These little graph bars indicate precipitation accumulation and blocks of time. And you do see one here that adds up to this guy right here, 1 inch of snow. So again, that's not a whole lot, but that's on late Saturday night, early Sunday morning time frame. Okay, so I believe, let's see, new star senders. Okay, so I believe that's what I wanted to show you. So I hope that was fun and educational and exciting because we finally got some action. I liked some action. Man, it was getting a little boring around here. I mean, I'm serious. I was like, really, come on, we gotta have something. This is fall. Let's get something going. Okay, so let me go to Periscope and Twitter here real quick. See if you guys had any questions. If you had any to type in, now's your chance. When I'm doing my maps, I don't have a chance to read them. Go to my Patreon page here real quick. Let's see. SK's wanting some snow. Hey, Tamara. Brenda wants some snow. Dry's in the house. He's got his hoodie coming. He ordered an AT's weather hoodie. They all got shipped a couple days ago, so they should be arriving here any day now. Let's see. Who wants a skiff of snow? Brenda wants a skiff of snow. So Jody will have to explain that to everybody. A skiff of snow is a Canadian term when it's barely just enough to kind of coat the ground. That's about it. So in Canada, they love it when it's just a skiff of snow because it's here and gone. They do not like it when it's bukus, bukus of snow. Okay, so Scott and Bethany is saying, yeah, the stars are on the regular page. They won't be on the Patreon Facebook group page. It's just a thing that they've turned on for the main page. So I got my main comments here. So if you guys had any questions, shoot them my way. I'm going to pull them up. Let's see. I want to thank Ferguson Roof Systems for sponsoring my live Facebook Lives. It's a great roofing company, by the way. You can really get taken advantage of in the roofing industry. So it's good to know there's some legitimate folks out there, and they're definitely one of them. All right, Amy's checking in from Denver. Jump back, Jack. Guthrie's in the house. Cody, good to see you. Rachel's wanting it to snow. Shauna's going for some snow. Adam's got a snow NATO. Why not? Why not? We got a tech fan in the house, Dorothy. Cheyenne's checking in. Shelly, good to see you. Stillwater's in the house. Sonia, I see you there. Shauna's wanting a ton of snowmen. We'll see what we can do. It might be a really sad-looking snowman with that dead grass mixed in, but we'll get you there. Yeah, Christy, believe it or not, Jody did bring us the snow. She's going to be here, and I do blame this change of the weather pattern on her. Just the right timing. Let's see. Dorothy wants it to Texas. That might be a hard thing to do. Texas just doesn't like the snow down south of the Red River. Now the Panhandle, no problem. That's easy. But down south of the border here into Dallas and stuff, just so hard. Tina's in the house. Amber likes the boring weather. Joanne does not want tornadoes. I hear you. I don't want tornadoes either. And so we'll see how tomorrow is going to look in the model data. Dry, you just sent me 530 stars. You are the man. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. So a couple of you guys out there sending the stars tonight. Very much appreciative of those. Amber's, let's see, what else? Gonna have to watch the replay to hear about the tornadoes. Oh, you don't want to hear about those. Tulsa's in the house. Hope checking in. You guys are all over the state tonight, and out of state, so that's cool too. So that's awesome. Brian's in the house of 50 stars. Thank you, Brian. Let's see here. So we got Brian, Jariah. Who else we had earlier? Christy. I think it was Mitch. All in the house, sending me some stars tonight. Appreciate that. So for those of you folks that are tuned in late and you missed the tornado talk, I'll give you a really quick 1-minute recap, and then we're going to turn you loose. So let me get my little map back up. Okay, so what's going to happen Tuesday afternoon? We're going to have a broken line of thunderstorms try to develop from around the Enid area, north to south, across two areas. This is an area of low pressure and also a dryland bulge here in central Oklahoma. So the models Tuesday afternoon and evening do develop some thunderstorms. Some of these will probably rotate. The question is, will we have the right perfect ingredients for tornadoes? And it's a little early for that, but the models do indicate that is a potential. It's a possibility. So that's what we're going to be watching for. The let's see, let's go this map here. The tornado index, the tornado parameter, in other words, where you have the ingredients coming together, is right through the I-35 corridor. And this will actually shift west a bit, I believe, in the newer data that'll come out. Usually models are always too far east initially, so they'll back this up about a county probably. It's from, right now it's over Canadian counties, the far western end of it. It'll probably go one county more over to the west for potential for the ingredients to produce a tornado. And that would be over central and probably northern Oklahoma. It's the best areas right now, the way things are looking. Even though it says ingredients down here in southern Oklahoma, you have to also factor in the lift and instability and some other measures of ingredients that need to be there to produce the storm. So again, that's better in the northern half of the state. You have less of a cap and all that kind of stuff. So that's the big difference there. So if you see that map and you wonder why it's not south, that's the reason. All right, so there's your quick and dirty discussion. And we'll focus on this again tomorrow. I'll do an update and we'll see how things look. Mitch, you bet. Happy Thanksgiving right back at you. I appreciate you being a supporter. All right, so I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. And there's a lot more to that, and I will not sing it, but I'm just saying it's out there. Okay, so listen. Oh, what's going on with YouTube? Jim, you just checked in. I know, buddy. Sorry, it just wouldn't work tonight. I was pressing some buttons, and my program didn't like it, and it was throwing a fit. So I think it just, somehow it lost YouTube, or YouTube got mad at me for pressing buttons. I'm not sure what happened, so I couldn't get it to reload. But the show must go on, so I finished up on my both Facebook pages and the Twitter Periscope deal. All right, happy Thanksgiving, Rachel. Right back at you. So, ladies and gentlemen, if this is your one and only chance to get an update and you don't see me, then happy Thanksgiving right back at you. Hope you have delicious food, a house filled with family and friends and relatives, and as all of our Thanksgivings would hopefully like to be. And there are for those that sometimes you can't, you got to be Thanksgiving alone kind of a deal. I know in the past you could always do like volunteering and stuff, and you can do food shelters and all that kind of deal. So there's always something you can do community-wise to help kind of get that family feel and get those endorphins going of doing something nice for someone. So that's always an option too, even in 2020, believe it or not. And we all need a lot more niceness out there. There's too much of a mob mentality of people that they just can't get out of the anxiety trap of emotional turmoil, and so they just vomit and froth at the mouth. And they'll say things that they would normally catch themselves and not say, because they would have that mama, if you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all, right? Well, if you get disconnected, detached from your prefrontal cortex, that mom in the back of your head goes away and it's replaced by someone that says, pile it on, be ugly, show your ugly colors instead of your true colors. So we need to stop that nonsense, but I'm ready for a new year. It's too much out there right now. Although I will tell you this, if you're a church fan, I go to Life Church, and so I watch Craig, being known him for a long time. Well, his wife Amy does these women retreats and a lot of these women studies. So they probably taped this a month or so ago. I don't know when they did the actual deal, but it was sometime here recently, this year. And she was addressing the women in the crowd, but it was so good and so applicable. He used it as a sermon, and she did absolutely phenomenal. So it was really cool to get that perspective on someone who in the early days had to deal with COVID. In other words, he had a threat of getting COVID before COVID was even a thing. It was like in early February, back when no one really knew much about it. So you want to talk about fear, anxiety, all the thoughts that race in your head in a matter of seconds. So she talked about how she dealt with that and what she took away from that experience. And it was actually really good. So if you're interested in that, you can find their channel on YouTube or on Facebook. I know they upload just the 30-minute version of it on YouTube, so check it out, Life Church. But it was a good sermon. All right, well, that's my preaching for the night. A little bonus with the weather. I know, Hope. It's the way things go. All right, listen, you guys will have to stop. I'm going to stop, so you guys have to catch the replay if you missed it. I did 2 updates in this little broadcast tonight, and actually they were pretty quick. The whole thing was actually relatively fast. I got right to it and just showed you a bunch of the individual maps. If you want a more longer approach so you can absorb it in, just go to my blog on AaronTuttleWeather.com, and you can check out the maps there too and my write-up on that, if that's helpful. But I'll also get all the details in the video. All right, listen, thanks again for the stars tonight, guys. You are awesome. Thanks. Have a great week, and I'll be giving you an update tomorrow for the storms expected on Tuesday. If there are going to be tornadoes, yes, I will cover them. Jody won't be happy because she'll be getting into town, but it is what it is. It's only going to be for a few hours for that threat, so we'll deal with that. And then, again, Thanksgiving looks great, and then I'll check those long-range models for the snow on Sunday. We'll see if that pans out. All right, you guys have a good night. Bye-bye.